Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is a man who declared himself mayor of Gastown after one 7-layer burrito, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. These days, it does not take just one burrito. I just want to let you know.
Good for you, man. This whole thing is sponsored by Lactaid, I think. Already off to a disgusting start. That's my fault. Good to hear you, buddy. Happy Memorial Day for you. We're recording on Memorial Day itself.
That's right.
How do you, because you're a veteran, so like, how do you take the day? Do you just go around like robbing places and just say, I'm a veteran, and they just, they're good to you? Like, how do you feel on Memorial Day versus like Veterans Day? Veterans Day maybe is the one you get more away with, right?
Yeah, Veterans Day is my jam, obviously, because I get a lot of, I'm not going to lie, I get a lot of free stuff and discounts.
Sure.
So I took full advantage of it. I never used to, but now I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, I'm going to enjoy this day. So Memorial Day is kind of just a nice day to kind of chill out. Usually take the kids to the pool because it just opens up and have, you know, the typical American fare of hot dogs and hamburgers. But the weather did not permit that today. So it's kind of a chill Mad Max marathon day for me today.
Which is also great. It's almost like you maybe need to swap your Father's Day, because that sounds like a Father's Day thing where you just watch one movie series all week, fall asleep on your recliner.
It's awesome.
Yeah, with a beer in your hand. That's Father's Day to me. That's good shit. Well, I'm glad you got to go chill and do all that, and I'm glad you're all caught up with the Mad Max Saga, as it were, the MMCU. Is that what we're doing here? Is that how we're doing it? As we are going to talk about Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga that came out over the weekend, with everybody either being overjoyed or very sad, depending on which numbers you're looking at, whether it's the critical scores or the box office numbers. We'll also toss in some stuff. I sadly had to see the Garfield movie with my kids, which apparently is an amazing foe at the box office compared to Furiosa. So that's hilarious. And then we'll have my usual Netflix thing, which Shane, I know, saw the new J-Lo movie Atlas as well as I did. And then we'll throw in maybe one other kicker before we get out of here. But Shane, let's start off with Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. An interesting movie because, you know, I'm going to say words like starring Anya Taylor-Joy when, like, she's what? She doesn't come into the movie for like 30 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah, 35, 40 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing. This also stars Chris Hemsworth as Dr. Dementus, Tom Burke as Praetorian Jack, Nathan Jones coming back as Rictus Erectus, and many others. What I like about George Miller bringing back people who were in stuff as far back as Mad Max still being in these newer Mad Max movies. That's pretty awesome. This is co-written by Nico Lathoris, who also co-wrote Fury Road. And this is, of course, co-written and directed by George Miller, which, you know, it's obviously been a minute since Fury Road. He did 3,000 Years of Longing in between, so it's not like he's completely rusty. And, now that we're seeing the movie, I don't think any of the rust is on there. For how old is this guy now? He's 70-something, right?
70, yeah, mid-70s.
Yeah, amazing stuff. This is, of course, the prequel right up to the butt end of Fury Road. This is as the world fell, young Furiosa is snatched from the green place of many mothers and falls into the hands of a great biker horde led by the warlord Dementus. Sweeping through the wasteland, they come across the Citadel, presided over by Immortan Joe. While the two tyrants war for dominance, Furiosa must survive many trials as she puts together the means to find her way home. Real quick, I'll go over the critical scores before I get to the concern trolling about the box office. 90% Rotten Tomato on both sides, audience and critic score. 79 Metascore, 8.0 IMDb, and a 4.0 Letterboxd. That's really strong, Shane. So I obviously no complaints there if you're George Miller. Got to be pretty happy with that. However, the one thing I'll just mention before we get into the review, how concerned were you after seeing these box office returns? And do you have a theory on them? Because right now it sits at 32 million domestic, 32.8 international for a 64.8 total. But obviously people are going to look at more quote. That's with Monday. That's with this already added in. And 26.3 was the domestic opening, which falls, I believe, a little under Fall Guy, which we all cried about too. So what were your expectations with that? Did you feel like there was probably going to be a swell for this? And did this completely miss the mark as far as box office returns for you?
Personally, I thought it missed the mark. I thought kind of like the Fall Guy, but I shouldn't be surprised. When I looked this up this morning, I was, again, surprised, but coming off the Fall Guy, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I shouldn't have any more expectations for the box office because just like the Fall Guy, I've seen so many trailers for this movie. They pushed this movie. They marketed this movie heavy. And I was like, all right, Memorial Day weekend. Plus down here, we had a lot of rain. It wasn't the best weather. So I figured that would drive people to the movies.
Sure.
I went Saturday at 12:45. And the movie theater was probably a third full.
Ooh.
There were plenty of seats to be had at 12:45 on a Saturday.
Wow.
In the rain. So that being said, I figured out it'd rally because we had today. And man, I don't know what to say anymore. I don't have any explanations.
Yeah.
I like what you said earlier about the non-MCU. Does it need MCU and a monkey in it or something?
Yeah.
Something of that nature?
We were talking off mics about does it need? Yeah, this is. What is the expectation now? Is this the expectation between Fall Guy and Furiosa? Is that the benchmark now for non-MCU movies without a primate? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect line.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up.
Yeah, because again, if you look, it had no competition, in the same way we thought Fall Guy really didn't have any competition because it was the week before Apes came out. You have the Apes still around, but even things like Fall Guy Challengers, those are on PVOD now. And If obviously wasn't very strong even the week before, things like, Strangers Chapter 1 and whatever else you got going on, still it really didn't make any money. So this kind of had a wide open lane and it just didn't dunk.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think I thought it was going to have a lot more, especially.
Me too.
It's funny because it's tough because I think the numbers, especially compared to now, look daunting. But Fury Road wasn't known for being big blockbuster type totals. It did okay. I think it did probably maybe 300 total or somewhere around there. I'd have to look it up. But I think it was 100 and something a piece between domestic and international. And it got to maybe high 200s or 300, somewhere around there. And this one, I mean, it looks like it might do Fall Guy numbers. And if that's the case, I mean, that sucks because I believe the production budget for it was 150 or it was something close to that, Fall Guy number. So I've seen all kinds of things this weekend, and just the last couple of things on this before we get into the movie is I've seen everything from is Chris Hemsworth box office poison to are we gonna rehash all those same arguments of the Fall Guy? Is this about streaming? Is this about IP going too far? Is it this whatever really, Shane, the question that needs to be posed is everyone Mad Maxed out?
Right. See, I thought the opposite. And I kid, we joked about that off mic too, but it's coming off of Fury Road, which was it was a hit. I mean, it wasn't like you just said the numbers, but it came out of kind of nowhere. I don't remember reading a lot about it or seeing a lot of trailers for Fury Road because that was 9 years ago already. I can't believe that.
I know.
And coming off the success or how good that movie was, I thought based on that and just people clamoring for Furiosa's origin story, and here it is, and then it just fell flat. And I don't buy the Chris Hemsworth poison pill because we said that, or you said that about Ryan Gosling. And I joked about that. Are you going to let him off the hook for the Fall Guy weekend?
Right.
I just think that's where we are now, unfortunately, with the box office these days, man. Until, again, another MCU movie comes out, and we've said this for weeks, Deadpool's going to take all the money. All the money.
Yeah, I mean, again, like this is IP though. You thought this might have
I
been
know.
a little stronger than the Fall Guy, at least because Fall Guy. We put the air quotes of IP in that. Of course, it's a Ryan Gosling action movie. It's like it's so there's like what probably 3% of the audience for Fall Guy was like, ooh, like the TV show. Like nobody cared about that, and there was no allegiance to it, right? This one, you're like literally like, dude. This is
Yeah.
going right up to the edge of Fury Road, so you kind of need to know what's going on. So I don't know, man. Like this one, it is a little scary, but the difference is, I think we had the conversation about, did Fall Guy do enough to have like legs, quote unquote, and like maybe catch up to its box office? But I think between Apes and the fact that, the critical scores weren't as strong as this movie, I think Furiosa has a better chance, especially because we talked about next week is a nothing burger. There is fucking nothing that we care about. So, which is all that matters. I'm sure there's something out there that somebody cares about. But like, as far as we go, there's nothing that counts. So, I don't know. I think it has a good, at least another week to really kind of, if you see like a 50% drop off, 40% drop, some like okay number, like a good number where it could keep sustaining, I think it might have some legs. Because even then, I don't think there's like a ton of strong competition coming this way. I have to look at it again, but like as far as stuff that would compete in this genre, especially this type of movie, especially like we always talk about like the IMAX screens, how quickly is Furiosa going to get taken out of the IMAX is probably part of the problem, right? So, but enough about the box office. Let's get into the movie, Shane, because as you are like, steeped now in the tradition of Mad Max after watching all but, ironically, Mad Max today, or in the last couple days. Give it to me straight, man. What did you think? Do you think these high critical scores are worthy for this movie in your eyes?
I do. This was a good movie. This is George Miller's quote unquote sandbox. I mean, this is his playpen. Like he is in his bag here. You mentioned 3,000 Years of Longing, which strangely enough, I didn't think that was that bad, but this is his bag, right? This is his baby.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this movie. I think you actually said when we were messaging each other, something about, who knew something about, Me Loving Sand again, or best two movies being in sand.
Yeah, I was like, Star Wars has ruined sand for me. Oh, wait, now Dune Chapter 2 and Furiosa come off the top rope. I love sand. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel, man. Like this movie was so entertaining.
Yeah.
I loved it. What made this movie for me, and especially watching Fury Road last night, I think that's a little tighter and better movie, and we can get into that. But the villain was so good in this movie. Like Chris Hemsworth as Dr. Dementis kind of made this movie, not to take anything away from Anya Taylor-Joy. She was great. And even the younger version was good.
I thought so. Yeah, that's underrated part of this movie. I haven't heard many people say it, and I agree.
She was great. But man, just the villain and his, just the way he portrayed him in this movie was scary, but yet funny and dark, but funny. He was charismatic. He was crazy. He was a maniac.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked him,
Yeah.
It was, and it's funny because I keep going back to Fury Road, but it's like a smaller scale version of Fury Road, because Fury Road was like 2 hours of like pure action going one way, coming back the other way.
Right.
This one kind of had some breaks into it, which I didn't mind. It was like 25 minutes longer than Fury Road. I felt like it could have been trimmed just a little bit. But all in all, I had a great time with this movie. I enjoyed it just as much as Fury Road. To be honest with you, after the first viewing of it, I was like, man, this is really good stuff. And I liked, who knew we needed an origin story? We probably didn't need this movie, but I'm glad he made this movie. So I had a good time with this movie, man. It was good in so many terms. Again, Dementis made this movie because he was so just crazy off the top rope. Nuts.
I agree with everything you said. I like for all the things, I don't know how you felt about when we saw the trailer all those millions of times, but like I had some concerns about, the CGI balance versus like the practical, because like when you watch Fury Road, it's like this artistic stroke of like just genius set pieces and practical stuff, and you can feel like it's a very tactile movie. It feels like it's more film, or like a more, instead of less digital, or how they do CGI nowadays. Like you could feel that movie. Fury Road definitely has that artistic stroke. This movie, I was worried was going to be in the lesser category because of how the trailer looked. I didn't feel that way at all watching this movie. Like, there are a few moments of like, oh, this is kind of how Miller normally uses CGI, but that's about it. Otherwise, I thought it was very well done. I mean, it's not going to be, like you said, because there's some breakout stuff in terms of getting away from Fury Road or some of these other places. So there's less maybe like intense set pieces or driving, especially those driving set pieces that we were accustomed to with Fury Road. This one, I mean, had more stuff. Like, it really illuminated like Gastown and like deeper looks at the Citadel. And to me, when I think about, do I believe that this movie should have been made, or what do I think Miller was thinking? Because he said like, after Fury Road was made, he was like, we instantly have to write this story. So he was very motivated. And I think part of that motivation, if I'm reading it right, and I'm curious your thoughts, is that it basically amplifies the frustration and desperation of Furiosa in Fury Road, especially now that you get to show the green place, show her mother being strung up and killed. I guess, spoiler, I don't know. Everybody kind of knows those things, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, showing deeper looks at these towns that makes, you know, are these bookended places that we've kind of seen versions of over the years, but like this is the detail you kind of need, especially when you know what's going to happen. Like if you watch these two movies back to back, I think it enhances the viewing of Fury Road, which should tell you how good this movie is if it does that. When it did, like you said, did it really need it? But it's here and it works to help the other one. Do you feel that way too?
Absolutely. You mentioned like you feel Furiosa, especially after going back. Like you said, if you watch this Fury Road, which you should do, like at the end of the movie, when she finally gets to her tribe of women, and like, you came from the West, you should have driven right through it.
Yep.
She realized it was that desolate crow town.
Right.
And then you just see her crumble. All her hope was just dissipated at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, to string that together through two movies, you really feel that gut punch when you're like, oh man, like it does enhance both. I mean, it's a great vehicle to watch back to back when it eventually comes out, because it does enhance Fury Road. And I do like how they kept a lot of the same actors. Obviously, you want to try to keep some of the same actors from Fury Road, and they do. Like the organic mechanic, the guy who runs Bullet Town. They're all the same. Right. Even his son's Rectus, though his second son wasn't in. Well, I think he did. I can't remember if he died during. He didn't die during Furiosa, right? Not the big guy, the smaller guy. No. All right, so he wasn't in Fury Road for some reason, and they didn't mention it. But the big dude obviously was. So yeah, they kept all the same cast, so it's good continuity there. And yeah, man, like it makes Fury Road even better watching this movie. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, it enhances your viewing of Fury Road.
Yeah, and I echo what you said earlier too. This is a more streamlined movie because of the revenge plot stuff, which works very well narratively, and it is a funnier movie, which, you know, it has a little more character to it, which, you know, Miller's already so good at making these bizarre characters work so well and pop off the screen. I thought this one had extra layers to it because we live with it a little bit more. It felt more akin. Now, you could speak to this because you just rewatched it, but in my mind, it felt more akin to the older movies than it did Fury Road in terms of like adding more layers to the villains and getting a little more depth and a little more of that, you know, kind of feeling not cartoony. It doesn't quite go over the line there, but I think it definitely has just some more fun with it in that action sense.
It does. There is a little more character, like I said again. It is more humorous because of Dementis, like some of the lines he spews and some of the actions are. even a line that wasn't meant to be funny, but like when someone's like, "Oh, he's ruining gas time, but he's blaming everyone but himself."
Right.
I kind of laughed at that because that was his kind of character. He's like blaming everybody,
Yeah.
but himself for just wherever he goes, he just like ruins whatever town he's in.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was funny, and I love the actor who played what's his name?
Pretorius Jack. Yeah.
Pretorius Jack.
Yeah.
I
Tom
thought
Burke,
that was a big
right?
part of the Tom Burke, how him and Furiosa's relationship and how he kind of taught her how to do what he does and like help her along her mission. I really like that connection there. So he was a well-added character, I thought, in this movie too. So
I agree. I think that like I wasn't expecting even just even a hint of like mentorship or romance or any of these things that these characters interlock in. I wasn't expecting any of that, and I especially for how it comes a decent amount into the movie, I thought it worked so well. Like as opposed to rewatching Fury Road, I forget actually. It's weird how time makes you forget things. I thought like Max was in that movie far less than I thought because everybody just makes it about Charlize Theron and make it about Furiosa and all those things. I don't know, man. Tom Hardy's in it like all the time, like a lot. Like he's in like almost every scene. Like he's in a lot of stuff. So that's on me, obviously. But like I don't know, because over the years, people like kind of concern troll. I think even one person said to me recently, like that the movie was bait and switch. That was like, oh, it's a Mad Max movie. It was a Furiosa movie. Whatever for that one. Nah, not really. I mean, because Max comes in. The difference is that Max, by that point, is so messed up and haunted and has gone through so much. Like, he's kind of just in a world of his own and just trying to survive. So, yes, the main literally driving plot is Furiosa trying to save the mothers there, like the breeders or whatever they call them in that movie, and trying to save all them and get them to the green place. But like, yeah, Max is still a very big part of it. And so it's interesting to see this one where this is the first one where we're sans Max altogether. So,
right.
And weirdly for it to not bother me says a lot. And I think that's because Tom Burke is so good as Pretorius Jack. And I love how they just was like, fuck you. We don't need to explain this. This is just this guy. And this is what he meant her. And now he's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm fine with it. What did you think about Anya Taylor-Joy here? Like we said, as far as her character is the titular character, but she doesn't come in until later because her younger self is in it quite a bit. And even then, she definitely does the the typical Mad Max type lead character, right? Where it's brooding, doesn't say a lot, feels like a silent movie. But do you feel like she matched at least the gravitas of like your past Maxes or even Theron's Furiosa?
Yeah, actually, I do, to be honest with you. I read where she only had 23 lines in this movie compared to 45 that Tom Hardy had.
Yeah, it's like John Wick, hold my beer, right?
Yeah, right. And no, just the way she carried herself, I thought she was great. I think she pulled off that gritty action piece that we haven't really seen her in. I've always liked her as an actress, but this is like the first kind of this type of role, as far as I can remember her actually stepping into. And I thought she carried it off. I actually liked her younger Furiosa version than Charlize Theron's Furiosa. I did. After watching both movies, I liked just the emotion in her face, and just she says a lot just with her facial expressions. It was what you need when you only got 23 lines of dialogue.
Right.
But I think we felt every emotion she was going through in this movie. And I liked how at the end she was just fucking around with Chris Hemsworth's character by like driving back in the car and all that kind of stuff. I thought she pulled it off, man. I like to see her in these type of roles a little more going forward. Like she showed me enough that she can do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is going to be a love fest, everybody, because like I really like this movie. When I got out of that movie, my first thought was, where does it slot in my top 5 of the year? So, and I'm sure
Yeah.
maybe you had the same type of vibe and what kind of score I was going to give it. And and again, it's very different, but when you go through, it's not Dune Chapter 2. It's not going to rise up to that for me anyway. But I definitely think this is one of the best movies of the year. And it made me even more sad to hear that there was a box office conversation, because I saw this movie Friday morning, like first thing. And I love the summer schedule now we're on, opening it up.
Right.
I could just see a movie at 10:15 in the morning. So good.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
Great. I think I saw like a 9:30 showing at some other places. I was like, oh yeah, movies are back, baby.
So good.
I need to start taking more days off of work. But yeah, man, it was a beautiful time and a beautiful movie. And if anything, I had reservations about, should I go back and see this in IMAX before it leaves not only movie theaters but leaves the IMAX showings too, because I was in, and I even got over Hemsworth's nose for most of the movie. Like it's a magical time at the movies, Shane, and that's how I want to see it. Did you didn't see it in IMAX, did you?
I did not, but I do want to see this again before it leaves theaters. I wouldn't mind seeing it in IMAX again. I think it deserves a second viewing in the theater, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So here's what's funny, and it's nothing important, but like as I'm watching this movie, I never once thought like with Nick Fury, I'm like, okay, when I watched him in Captain Marvel, I was waiting for the moment he lost his eye, But like in this movie, I totally forgot she loses an arm at some point, and she does them. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And now we learn how she lost her arm. But I didn't even think about that at all during the movie when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, at some point she's going to lose her arm. What's the moment?
Yeah.
I never had that. So I was like, oh shit, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like she lost her arm.
No, I love it. And that's the other thing too. I kept thinking about like, how are they going to land this movie too? Because she's kind of mad at everybody. There's so many people who are responsible for her misery at points in this movie. So it's like, how much of a rampage can she go on? Because we know who's in Fury Road. It's the inherent problem of prequels, right? Like we know who's going to survive if it's villain stuff and they carry over or what have you. So she can only go so far. And I think the choices they made were pretty good in terms of that. Did you get a little jarred being how close it was to the start of Fury Road or the plot of Fury Road?
No, I loved it. I loved it because, like you said, it was kind of seamless. Like it was literally, because I was too. I was like, okay, so how long is there going to be between Furiosa and Fury Road? Like that was my mindset. Okay, they landed it. We saw how it ended, but now how far are they going to jump into like the older self? But it kind of just ran right into Fury Road, man. So you could literally pick up. So yeah, I was surprised. In a good way.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome. What a perfect way to put a pin in this movie.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is just, again, that it took so long for them to make this movie, and that, it's Anya Taylor-Joy and all this stuff, because I didn't realize, because I was like, all right, well, how old was Charlize Theron when they made that movie? She was 40 when that movie came out. And then Taylor is, I believe, 28. So it's a pretty big difference. Although kudos to Theron, like if you go back and watch that movie, she looks, it's not that it's not so jarring of a difference.
No, it's not.
So I thought they did a good job of trying to match up the best they could, And my big problem is and again, I probably have brought this up a million times, and I always forget how you feel about it, but I was so scared of the Rogue One-ness of the potential of the ending of this movie, where it's like, let's go right up to the end or the beginning of Fury Road with the end of this movie and make it some kind of weird shift. To me, I hate, Vader goes all nuclear on everybody, and then it doesn't match up to me of the intensity of the end of Rogue One into the different type of vibe that you get with the start of New Hope. So I always hated that. So I was happy to see at least they I don't know, they did little flashes of where she was going to go, what her thinking was, and then where it was going to go. With the credits, they even had pieces of Fury Road. I was like, that I thought was maybe a little much. We don't need to go, okay, I get it, because the hope is whoever's going to watch this movie, if you never watched them before, they could watch these back to back. As opposed to most people, I'm like, please don't watch Rogue One and then the original trilogy. Please don't do that. As opposed to this movie, you really probably could. I mean, it'd be a little jarring because it's two different actresses. Outside of that, I think it's actually a pretty good double feature.
It's a great double feature. And you don't like necessarily. It would be in an ideal world to watch this before Fury Road, but obviously we watched Fury Road first, and I rewatched last night. It's not necessary to watch them back to back.
Right.
You find enjoyment just like taking it as a single experience. But yeah, man, just poof. I'm gonna do it. Like when this movie comes out streaming, I'm gonna like watch them both back to back.
Yeah, I mean, if you have all the time in the world like you did today watching a bunch of Mad Max movies, why not, right? So with that in mind, Shane, before we get to the score on this one, I am curious now that you did kind of do a big rewatch and get it all in there and kind of maybe did you mentally power rank? Like where does this one land for you? Do you have that kind of stuff? Because the beauty to me with the Mad Max universe, as it were, is they're all so very different in a way. And the type of movies they are, like, they all have that similarity of kind of variations on almost like a silent movie kind of a thing and just the intensity of them. They have a lot of commonalities, but there are different genre almost flicks to it. So obviously it's a to each their own, but do you have a personal power ranking?
Yeah, I do. Because I watched most of it today. I still go with the original Mad Max as number one.
Really?
The one that kicked it all off. Yeah. But then I go Fury Road, Furiosa, Road Warrior, and then Beyond Thunderdome.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because that's probably the worst. It is, in my ranking, the worst of the franchise. That after watching that movie made zero to little sense.
Agreed.
Rewatching that movie. I forgot about the whole Peter Pan stuff in the middle of it, and the children, and all the flying, Captain Morgan, and all that stuff, or Walker. Sorry, Captain.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Captain Walker.
Appreciate the shout out. Yeah.
The whole Tina Turner character. It just was a mess, man. Like, it just made no sense in that movie.
I agree. That's definitely the last for me. It's been a minute since I rewatched, but I always remembered loving Road Warrior. Like, because it was just so crazy. And it's the kind of the proto version of what the movies are now. So it has like the most in common, maybe, with the original. I mean, obviously Mad Max does too, but like I thought Road Warrior was the more contemporary feeling one and a lot more of that kind of on the car violence a little bit more.
It was, but I think I'm prisoner of the effects that we have today, because I felt like if Road Warrior was done today, it would have been Fury Road.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I get swept up with what he does with the practical and CGI today with Fury Road. It just lands a little better for me than Road Warrior, which was a great movie. I don't mean to like belittle that movie. Yeah. But it's, it was made in 1982, so there's only so much they can do. I felt like if that was made today, it would be awesome. Like it is awesome, but it'd be right up there. You know what I mean? It'd be right up there, Fury Road.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be tough because upon rewatch of Fury Road, I did kind of appreciate it more. Because the one thing that I remember when I first watched it, because people were just salivating over it. So it was a little tough to be like even minorly critical of it at the time. Because people would be like, shut up, it's a masterpiece. Go fuck yourself. Like, all right, well, but there's some things. I thought it really loses momentum in the middle. Especially when they are going like, was that post that big giant sandstorm as they get into the crows. It's obviously purposeful and stuff, but there's a lot of like either redundant feelings, either that or just the slowness and the kind of confusion and whatever. It kind of really slows down, and then the end of that movie is just beyond, like, it's so good. And obviously on the big screen it was even more. But like, that's where that movie kind of, I don't know. It sounds obnoxious, but like I think Furiosa is just as good. And again, I want to kind of do a more than one watch version of Furiosa, but I don't know. I just like the streamlinedness of this revenge plot and how it's. I think it's just a better story because it's got more depth than most of these Mad Max movies generally get. And
Yeah, it does.
so between that and liking Hemsworth more, like the villains in the first one also don't get a lot. It's the kind of the twisty mustache, shake your fist version of like silent film era almost, with a Morton Joe and all these guys, where it's like, and even then, like everybody's not even on a Morton Joe side. So like we're all just kind of, I just thought it worked a lot better because we're seeing kind of the different versions of all the towns and the backbiting, and really like it enhanced the Wasteland for me. So I don't know, like I really. I might be jumping the gun, but I think it's like just as good or more enjoyable to watch. I can't say the artistry of because the Fury Road stuff and the was it the Doof Warrior or whatever, like that guy with the guitar. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Like there's so many visual things with Fury Road that I'm like, God damn. But story wise, this might have a little bit more of a compelling thing, but I'm sure everybody has their choice.
Yeah, like I said, it's neck and neck. I mean, you might as well flip a coin. Like I think, like at the top, I said I enjoyed Fury Road just a sliver more, but the villain was better in this movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, just meant more character. So
yeah,
flip a coin. They're neck and neck.
Yeah. Yeah, all I know is that after rewatching Fury Road, I was thirsty because watching that much sand and watching the Citadel, like the big water come down, you're just like, oh God, especially in a hot weekend we had this weekend and everything too. I was just like, oh God damn, man, it's rough to do. But so where do you score it?
I'm going big with this score, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm going 4.5.
See, I think I am too. Which I'm like, is it too high? And again, me and cheat code. I'm like, it's. I know. It's like 4 feels too low. Me and my cheat code. So I'm like, it's really right there. Right? It's like is it 4.25 or 4.5 for me? Whatever. All I know is that it's probably my number 2 or 3 movie of the year, behind
Same
Dune.
Here.
So I don't know. Like I'm gonna be hemming and hawing on that for a while, but I think that's where I land. And yikes, man. Like, and again, weird thing it's like literally that and Challengers trying to like fight my thoughts with that. And you couldn't pick 2 different movies.
They're
whatever,
2 different films, right?
Yeah.
Like you just said, but given the choice, like which one would you rewatch right now? Oh, it's Furiosa, hands down.
Right.
Like I rewatch that right now.
Yeah. Like I know it's not a perfect movie. It's not Dune part 2, but like, man, it's not far off, and it's so enjoyable. I think this one might be the most rewatchable of the Mad Max. I don't know. I'm talking complete gibberish now, but I don't know.
No,
I got to
rewatch.
Because
I wasn't bothered by the runtime. Like it has a 2 hour and 23 minute runtime, and not one time was I bothered by the runtime.
Yeah.
Like it was divided up into kind of chapters, which was different in Fury Road, which I liked. That storytelling, like, hey, chapter 1, chapter 2, like I like that little throw in there. So.
Yeah, and honestly, just my hat tips to George Miller for the fact that he's done all these movies, very individual, like we said, almost like different genre bends. Like some of them all have like different commonalities. It's in the same, place and time and everything else. And I so many of these action franchises, they usually go wayward, and I mean Thunderdome is a little wayward, obviously we said that, but to come back so strong with these 2 at his age is nuts, and
it makes me want more. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, but I just thought about like, all right, well here, I guess we'll have that conversation real quick. You want more, but where are you going to go? Because like, and we probably said that before Fury Road, right? Like, what are you going to do that's going to be so inventive? If he has it in him, I'm game, because this guy's amazing at it. And his editors, oh my God, like they're going to win so many technical stuff, or at least be nominated. I know in Dune 2, territory, we might have competition and problems. But man, this,
I don't know where the story to go, because like Max's story is he's going back to being a drifter, right? And then we wrapped up with Furiosa, her story. So I don't know where the hell he would go.
Yeah.
But if Miller has an idea, I'm all for it. Like I'm all for it.
Yeah, it would literally have to be something to where he's like, I really need to give Max an ending.
Right.
Like like whatever. Like if because that is an ending if you're watching Fury Road, but like something to where it's maybe a little more like give him a little more
Finite.
closure. Yeah, a little more. Yeah,
Right.
something. But I don't think it needs it. I'm
No,
really
it doesn't
happy
need it
with
at all.
it. But yeah, a franchise with 5 movies plus. Like, tell me another one that like that has at least that level of consistency where I can say definitively that 4 are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scratch your head.
I know.
I can't think of
I
one
know
off
it.
the top of my head.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, that's great, man. I thought we had a great conversation there. Good job by you. Anything else you want to do? I mean, I could tell people, first and foremost, I saw the Garfield movie. I've been a Garfield fan my whole life. The book fairs when I was a kid, every year, buying every new Garfield book alongside whatever new Stephen King and Michael Jordan poster I want. Like that was my life. Love the Garfield stuff. It's a weird movie. It's like it didn't feel like a Garfield movie, which is so weird to say, but like it's like a 2 out of 5. It's not I was second screening. If I left to take my kids to the bathroom, I was like, good. I don't care. I'm not going to miss anything, So that should tell you everything. But somehow, I think I was even more upset with Jennifer Lopez and Atlas, the new Netflix movie that I had to cover this week, where it's just like, what is happening? What is going on here? I'm so confused as to like what I'm supposed to feel about any of this when it's literally a movie about a woman who has this giant distrust and blunder with AI and like life changing, all these things, makes her into this oddly hysterical PTSD woman for most of the movie, and then has to be like, when better AI comes around, you should trust them because they're better. It's like, really? That's what we're doing? That's pretty bizarre. So yeah, that movie just made me scratch my head. I gave it a poor score, and I think everyone should.
Yeah, you gave it a 1.5. I saw on your letterbox. I gave it a 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, my biggest take was, why are you wasting Sterling Brown in this
He
movie?
was so good. And even Mark Strong, yeah. Well, if you read my Netflix review, which everyone should, that was what I gave the MVP, was the supporting characters, because they actually gave it a little bit of gravitas, between Simu Liu, what is it? The fucking Shang-Chi guy? Yeah. And Mark Strong and Sterling K. Brown, I thought gave like just enough credence at the right time to make this like not a complete dumpster fire, but it's mostly a dumpster fire.
It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So, and then the one last thing, buddy, that I had for you, I don't know what else you got on the table here. Guess what I watched today, buddy? While you were Mad Maxin', I was Boy Kills World in.
Oh!
Yeah.
Make me happy.
Yeah.
Make me happy. Make me happy. Give it to me, buddy.
And again, I haven't fully scored it in my mind, but it's at least a 3.5.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a solid movie. And what's weird, for a movie like that, I thought it got better as the movie went along, because I thought it started out slow. And I was like, if you can hang through that first like 20 minutes or so before he really gets engaged in the mission, I think that movie not sings, but it's pretty close to like going the rest of the way.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say a couple of things. One, confirmed, a cheese grater is really hard to watch at times when you're using it as a weapon on people. Brass knuckle gun, super inventive. Love that. The family plot twist worked, I thought, surprisingly well. With that, I kind of had it figured out when the woman assassin kind of person was there, that I was like, something's brewing here in that territory, but I let it happen. It was good.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he couldn't read that one guy's lips made me laugh every fucking time.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
It was.
So those things alone, and obviously the not quite death by carrot, but attack by carrot, that you just have to go with. Movie solid.
Yeah, dude. Didn't I tell you, like, action wise, best action movie I've seen this year.
And I was sitting there because I have you on my shoulder going, so Monkey Man or this, and trying to go through that. And I don't know. It's so tough because they're so different.
They're different, yeah.
Because this is a lot lighter, but I mean, it's very well crafted. To me, like there, like it's probably like a scene in Monkey Man where I'm like, that scene is dope, where it's like John Wick level kind of stuff. This one, again, it's like, if I'm trying to compare this to like Shoot 'em Up or something, I probably like the story a little bit better in this one. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's like right there, 3.5 or so.
You just made my pants tight a little bit, buddy.
I told you, man, we're not far off. I think the longer we do this, like we're gonna just like merge into one person eventually. That's how it's gonna happen.
Did you have to I know we mentioned the cheese grater scene was pretty brutal, but the end when he finally gets to the end, I don't want to spoil it for people because no one ever saw this movie, but the scene where he's fighting the guy, the main villain, and he takes the hook thing, and he runs it up the leg. Yeah. Like I literally had to turn my head.
Yeah. If anything, did it have I did a little. Sorry to cut you off, but like I did with that. The other thing is I kept looking after the fight was over to see how much they kept that there, because that's an intense long, like you can always kind of like miss maybe a bullet wound or some other thing. That's a lot to like be like, how is his arm not falling off? But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
No, but it didn't like the action. Like I think I described it like almost as brutal as like The Night Comes for Us. Did you get that feeling? Like
I didn't.
South Korean.
You know why Night Comes for? Because that movie is just overloaded with people for them to fight.
Sure.
But as far as like having it be one guy is like it's close to being as impressive. Like there's stuff with Night Comes where I could see right now, like when I close my eyes, to be like, oh yeah, when that guy gets smacked by a bunch of pool balls in the face or whatever, like whatever. Like I could just see certain fights, right? Like I could just see those things. Boy Kills World. There's a lot of like, not nondescript, but there's a lot of like just we're in a hallway and just like let's go for broke.
Yeah.
So where you see that one in the trailer where they're on the snow surface, we'll call it that or whatever, and that's where the carrot thing gets involved. But like, that one sticks out in my mind, I think, because of the set design and not because of like the fighting in particular. But that they saved the best for last. I think that 3-way fight at the end is where it's at.
I'm so glad, dude. You made my night. I'm
glad, man. That's awesome. But yeah, so that's a great way to end this episode too. Anything else for you, Shane? And again, like we got a big nothing burger next week, so hopefully we'll have some good news to report. Yeah. Maybe there's a lot of stuff. I said this last week where there's some stuff on my watch list that I might start just clearing the decks of like the PVOD stuff out there, or I'm definitely going to make best attempts. Hitman, the new Glenn Powell Netflix movie, is not on Netflix this weekend, but the following weekend, but it's in limited theaters. So if you have it around you, I'm going to try to see it in theaters. So I would recommend that movie's been getting good reviews out of the film festivals before it got picked up. And then now, as more and more people are seeing it, it's the year of Glenn Powell. It's between Twisters, this, and the fact that he's, coming off such a widely seen movie in Anyone But You. Who's better than Glenn Powell right now?
Nobody.
I know. Maybe if he was in The Fall Guy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say, I'm writing that article right now. Like, fucking Ryan Gosling, love him. But yeah. So, anything else on your brain there before we get on out?
I am going to try to watch, depending on how much it costs on PVOD if it comes to the theaters, which I don't think is coming to me. But that new horror film produced by Shudder, I want to say I think it's called The Most Violent Nature.
I think Nature. That's out sort of around here now. So
it's the 31st.
Yeah.
Which because it's getting like crazy good reviews, so that's on my list. If I could find it somewhere, I'll watch that.
Well, it's weird that it's like the hook for me, literally or figuratively, I haven't seen the weapons, is that it kind of looks like as if you watched a Friday the 13th movie from Jason's perspective.
Yes.
So, and I don't know if it adds any more depth than that or however it goes, but I'm interested, at least as far as that goes. So, yeah, man, if that's around here, and able, I think it is this weekend, that you could see it. So yeah, I'm in for that. There's actually a couple of I think Shyamalan's daughter's movie, that The Watchers movie, is like the week after or something. So we got some, like
June 7th.
Yeah, we got some good horror coming back up again. So, maybe we'll have to do like kind of like a look at the horror year that has been thus far and what we got going forward. Maybe we'll do a little something like that, a little dance like that. But what you should do out there, everybody, thanks again for listening, of course, and be sure to subscribe, because you're going to come back, you're going to want to hear these thoughts from us in terms of the horror stuff or whatever we got going on for the rest of the summer. I know we have like a cool weekend where like the bike riders and another like Oscar type movie is like battling in the same weekend. I was kind of peeking ahead at the schedule, and I was very encouraged. So hang with us all summer long. Be sure to, tell a friend to do the same thing. Be sure to follow us on the socials at Recent Act Pod. And we'll see you next time for more Recent Activity.